through spiritual guidance, like seeking out spiritual counsel or readers, they can be guided to go towards the best path for them. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Paradigm Surf. Today, we're going to get into a good topic with Eiji. We're going to be talking about something really interesting. Now, I've heard this many times about top performers and their success and how they value spiritual guidance. So, Eiji, let me ask you a little bit. Why do you think top performers value spiritual guidance?
Yeah, because I realized that so many successful people believe spiritual thing or metaphysical power, so they apply it to their business. But I wonder why they believe that kind of higher power um, compared to other ordinary people. So I wanted to hear your opinions about it.
Yeah, of course. I have often heard that some of the most successful people in the world, oftentimes get they I've heard online that they have epiphanies or they have these downloads of information
Yeah.
of things that they should do. Um, for example, in a really meditative state, like in the shower, sometimes they get the great idea for a great company, or they decide to seek out advice from other people who motivate them
Mm-hmm.
to perform better, to keep going. I think these kinds of themes and topics are very important when it comes to growth and self actualization. You want to be able to believe you can do something, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and also be in the right mindset to try to achieve something. Even if you fail, I think, in my opinion, top achievers succeed not because they are great the first time, but because they continue to get up after continued failure. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Asia, as far as your opinion, I'd love to hear what you have to say.
Y- Yeah, because there is a contradiction here. Because they should be realistic, right? Very logical, and
Mhm.
think the business or life so realistically. But so many high achievers, high performers, believe or apply that higher power to their own business. So why that it happens, or why they are like that? Because, in my opinion, ordinary people are more realistic, but they are still struggling with their lives. But on the other hand, the high performers or successful people are utilizing spiritual counseling or I don't know, fortune telling
Mhm.
or like a reading or tarot sometimes. Yeah, but it looks so Uh, like a nonsense, right? Why they? Because they are so smart and a genius, but still, why do they believe in that kind of like unknown word or yeah, something they can't explain logically?
That's a good question. I don't
Mm,
know why you would want to believe in something you don't know
mm,
about. Some people do, and oftentimes they can attribute their success to either divine timing, extreme luck, or extreme belief in themselves. I think it's quite often you see it in some very successful people. They either come from very humble backgrounds and they can build themselves up, or they just happen to be in the right place at the right time through spiritual guidance, like seeking out, like you said, spiritual counsel or readers. They can be guided to go towards the best path for them, in my opinion.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
So, and actually, my sister is, I mean, was like a spiritual counselor before, and I just yeah, interviewed her before. So her clients were almost the business person, a business owner, I mean. And she told me that they tend to believe that higher power than other people. So there are two main clients. One is just for relationship. They want to know how it goes between their partners. But they sometimes complain or don't believe that result. But on the other hand, the business owners just listen to her very delicately, and they don't have any resistance or uncertain thoughts. They just listen to her and then apply it to their business plans or future plan. Yeah, so I wonder why they they're
Yeah.
so nope, they're pure or yeah, they just listen to the advice so delicately.
What? Maybe you just said something I think that I noticed, and that is there's no resistance. Sometimes you have to be open
Yeah,
for your possibilities. You have to be open
yeah,
to different paths or different ways because if you resist, what will happen? You know,
yeah,
perhaps nothing happens, or perhaps you don't
yeah.
move in the direction you want to move. So you have to move without expectation. Don't resist
Hmm.
the unknown, I suppose, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, and that too. And also, she told me that there are some tendencies. One is that they have that idea of managing their luck. So luck
Oh,
it can
yeah,
be calculated. It's like money or energy or just a number. So
yeah,
amount of luck. So they uh, have strongly uh how can I say? Yeah. So they know the importance of managing of luck.
mhm,
So that's why they go to shrine or they pray or
yeah.
yeah.
So let me ask you this. Do you think people who are top
Mm-hmm.
achievers, do they believe in
Mm-hmm.
things like the law of attraction or these kind of things?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. So they
So
they believe vibration, energy, and yeah. So luck is a mixture of like a vibration and frequency, and their behavior.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I can think of a few examples in my personal life where I have been very lucky. Um, and the thing about it is I didn't expect to receive anything, but I put myself in the correct frequency of receiving. Whether it happens or not, I want to be open to receiving it if it's meant for me or not
Hmm.
receiving it if it's not meant for me. And oftentimes
Yeah.
things that feel good, things that feel expansive are aligned with you. Most times, right? Um so
Mm.
I think it's very important to also stay vibrationally open to everything instead of
Hmm.
resisting and only allowing the things you want to come in, if that makes sense to everyone. So when
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, when I think about these things, I think oftentimes they are blessings, even if they're not, if you don't know why it's going to be important in your life right now. Maybe in the future you'll see, oh, that thing's not going to make me happy, or having this product will make me happy. Um, and you start being in your best alignment, in your best path, you will achieve what you are meant to achieve. Because I don't know about you, AG, but I think everyone is meant to achieve different things. Not everyone is supposed to be a billionaire, right? Some people are very happy being and living a very simple life. And I see it oftentimes. What you're supposed to achieve is very personal. So perhaps these top achievers
Yeah.
are achieving what they're meant to achieve for their path, right? So spiritual guidance is so important, in my opinion.
Yeah. So that was exactly she told me. Yeah. They
Really?
have they feel they have a mission. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, they feel they have something to do in this life. And
Mhm.
also, that mission was given to them from something, like some higher, or more spiritual or more pure energy. So, and also, they're very intuitive. So they believe their intuition.
Mhm. They believe that gut feeling. Perhaps a lot of people have heard the phrase, "Go with your gut,
Yeah.
go with your intuition." Usually, that's a good sign. I have heard before
Hmm.
that your gut is your second heart. In a spiritual sense, it's a second, indication if something is good for you or if something is not good for you.
Yeah. Their dreams resolution is very high compared to other people. They visualize so clearly. And then also they know when they if they visualize correct in a correct way, uh, it will happen. So they are confident
So how
of the visualization.
wonder, can you learn to visualize like
Yeah,
they do?
I think so. So they have a big dream, and then their dreams are so clear, and then they are visualizing so clearly, and they know if they visualize correctly, it will happen. So that's why they believe the metaphysical world or higher power because they know there's something they can't control. So
Interesting. So the key to being a top achiever ultimately relies on how well you believe and how well you can envision what you want,
yeah, yeah,
whether it's
yeah,
money,
Y- yeah,
fame, relation. This is super
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. So because visualization is rely on their belief system, the belief level. So their belief level is so high. That's why they have the power of manifestation. So they can manifest the reality as they visualize. Of course, the reality creation is done by the source or I don't know, creator. But they know they can rely on that power, and then they can ask them, and it will happen if they ask correctly.
So the key is to know exactly what you want and believe that you will receive it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they also have that mm, uh, notion of receiving. They always have the, you know, uh, they are not doing that by themselves. It's just created by the source. And then they just experience that reality. So that's their belief.
So it's in our power for any of us to become top achievers. And I would love to definitely continue talking with you, AG, about how to visualize, how to manifest, and talk about how to get exactly anything you want in life. Maybe it's simple, maybe it's not so simple. So definitely, I would love to hear everybody's comments and see what they thought of today's episode. And we'll definitely talk about this kind of visualization next time.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Okay. Thank you.